All right, today we're going to peel back the skin of our planet to really understand the epic story that's written right on its surface.
Have you ever been on a plane looking down at a mountain range or maybe just standing on a beach and you just stop and wonder, how did it get its shape? Why does it look exactly like this? All those incredible shapes, the jagged peaks, the huge sweeping plains, those deep canyons, where did they come from? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. And believe it or not, it all starts with a battle of giants.
Yeah, a battle of giants. I'm not kidding. At the very heart of our planet's story, there's this constant, colossal battle going on. It's a tug-of-war, really, between two super fundamental forces that have been shaping our world for, well, billions of years.
So on one side, you've got what we call tectonic forces. These are the builders. They work from deep inside the Earth. Think of volcanoes erupting, right? Or those massive continental plates crashing into each other, pushing up gigantic mountain ranges. They create all the bumps, the lumps, the irregularities on the surface. But on the other side, you've got the gradational forces. These guys are the sculptors. They work from the outside in, so we're talking wind, water, ice, and their whole job is to wear everything down, to erode and smooth out all the stuff the tectonic forces built up. It's this constant push and pull, this building up and tearing down that creates every single landscape you've ever seen.
Okay, before we dive any deeper, let's just get a couple of terms straight so we're all on the same page. The whole field of study is called geomorphology. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Just think of it like this. A single mountain? That's a landform. The overall shape of the whole area, the hills and valleys combined, that's its topography. Super simple, right? Getting these terms down will make everything else just click into place.
So, you've got this epic planetary battle raging for eons. The question is, how on earth do scientists even start to make sense of the results? I mean, think about it. You've got everything from the mind-boggling vastness of the Pacific Ocean all the way down to a single little sand dune on a beach. How do you possibly organize all of that in a way that actually makes sense?
Well, they do it with this really cool idea. It's like a cosmic zoom-in. They classify all landforms into what they call 3 orders of relief. The easiest way to think about it is like you're looking at the Earth from 3 different distances. You start way, way out in space, and then you zoom in closer and closer. So let's start with that biggest, most zoomed-out picture.
All right, here we go. Our zoom starts at the absolute highest level, the first order of relief. We're talking about the widest possible view of Earth you can imagine. We're looking at the biggest, most massive scale features on the entire planet.
And you know what's wild? At this scale, it's incredibly simple. The Earth's surface is really just divided into 2 things. You have the massive continental platforms. That's basically all the land above sea level, and then you have the huge ocean basins, which is all the land below sea level. That's it. That's the first order. It's the most basic fundamental division of our world's crust. Okay, let's hit that zoom button and go in one level deeper to the second order. Now we're close enough to see the major features that are actually sitting on top of those continents and ocean floors we just talked about.
And these are the features that you totally recognize from a world map in a classroom. On the continents, we're talking about the big stuff. Major mountain ranges like the Himalayas, or massive plains like you see in the American Midwest. But it's not just on land. Under the oceans, you've got enormous features too. Things like continental shelves, those famous mid-oceanic ridges, and even deep submarine canyons. These are the landforms that really give the continents and oceans their unique character.
All right, you ready? Time for our final zoom. We're cranking it all the way in, coming right down to ground level with the third order of relief. Now these are the individual landforms that you and I can actually see and walk on and experience every day.
So here's the key takeaway, right? These third-order features are the building blocks for the second-order ones. Think about it. A huge mountain range, that's a second-order feature, is actually made up of thousands of smaller third-order features. Every individual peak, every single cliff face, every valley. A big coastal plain is made up of individual beaches and sand dunes. These are literally the landscapes of our everyday lives.
Okay, so we've got a handle on sorting landscapes by size, but there's a whole other dimension we have to talk about, and that's time. Because here's the thing, none of these landforms are just sitting there, static. Our planet's surface is constantly dynamically in motion.
Yeah, every single feature we've talked about, from a continent down to a cave, has a life cycle. It has a birth, it lives a life, and it is always evolving. And what's driving all that change? Well, it's that same battle we started with. The tectonic builders versus the gradational sculptors, constantly working on the landscape, sometimes super slowly, other times incredibly fast.
And this quote really just nails the concept. Geographers literally think of landforms as having stages of life. So, a young mountain range, it's going to be sharp, jagged, really tall. Think of the Himalayas right now. Then you have a mature one, which might be more rounded and worn down. And an old mountain range, well, it might be nothing more than rolling hills, just a shadow of what it used to be.
So the next time you look out at some grand, amazing landscape, just remember this. You are not looking at a finished painting. You're seeing a single frame, just one snapshot in an epic movie that's been playing for billions of years, and it's going to keep on playing long after we're all gone.
Okay, so at this point, you might be thinking, this is all really fascinating, but so what? Why does this actually matter to me? Well, understanding this deep history, this idea that everything is always changing, it has some really serious real-world implications for us right now.
Because knowing the story of our planet's surface, its whole evolutionary history, is absolutely essential for our future. It helps us make much smarter decisions about how we live on this incredibly dynamic planet. It forces us to ask the really big questions, right? Like, where should we build our cities? How do we manage our precious resources? How can we learn to work with these unbelievably powerful natural forces instead of always fighting against them? It's something to think about for sure the next time you just look at the world around you.